Let's go to Tejas. Let's go to talk to Jacob in San Antonio. What's up, Jacob?
Not much. How you doing, John?
I'm doing dope on a rope, man. What's up? How are you?
Oh, not much. Could be a little better. I kind of overindulged on Sour Patch Kids and chocolate chip cookies last night.
Listen, homie. Listen. Same team, man. Same team. Hey, listen. Hey, okay. Totally aside. I turned in my final book draft at 1 a.m. on Friday morning. It was due at midnight. I was an hour late. Listen, I got on a scale. It was not, dude. I had a trash bag behind me. I looked at it after I hit send. It is the most disturbing trash can. It's filled with candy wrappers. It's absurd. And so, listen, I'm detoxing right now, not in one of those, like, it got me a special lemon ginger tea, none of that bull crap, but, like, I'm working hard now, man, to clean my soul up. So my heart is with you, brother Jacob. You feel like that swollen, like, just Stay Puft Marshmallow, like, you just feel all, right?
Yes,
dude,
exactly.
I know it. But they're so good. They're so good. Okay, what's up?
I know. Right?
What's up?
Oh, okay, so on the 20th, y'all did a Facts of Your Friends about alcohol, and I've been kind of struggling with that, and I am 15 days now.
Hey, dude, way to go.
So, and it's not a long time, but it feels like it to me.
No, you don't get to do that on the show. 15 days, man. Is that a win?
Yeah, it is.
That's a win. We're going to celebrate it. We're not going to minimize it. We're not going to compare it to somebody else's 10-year token. We're going to say, hell yeah, 15 days. Way to go, man. Good for you.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
So I'm just wondering where to go now. I find myself kind of struggling. I've been working out pretty much every day. I'm trying to find things to kill time.
No.
And I don't.
No. Jacob, your life is not something to kill.
Okay.
Time. I was just listening to a conversation with Peter Tia and Rick Elias. It was a beautiful conversation, and I think it was Rick that brought up, if we had to every morning deposit money for the day's time, we would spend it very, very differently. Our time, but we just throw it away. We waste it. We sit on the toilet for 5 hours. We play stupid video games. We just waste it. I don't want you to look at your life as something like just to kill until it's all over. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
And I also get that's in like, you're in the phase where it's still minute by minute, right?
It is, yeah.
Yes.
And it's like trying to find doing things but not drinking. Like we did a game night, and usually we're all drinking when we do a game night. And I'm just the only one sitting there, and I'm like, man, this sucks.
Yeah, dude. Game nights are tough.
I felt better the next day because I didn't wake up in a haze.
Of course you did. Yeah. And you remembered everything. But also, okay, there's several things. How long have you been drinking for?
Well, I'm 43 since I was probably junior, senior in high school, I would guess. So a long time.
Take me back 6 months ago. How much were you drinking?
Oh, I could easily finish an 18-pack a weekend plus bourbon and stuff during the week. Quite a bit.
Okay.
Quite a bit.
What made you want to quit drinking?
Nothing was working. Everything was chaotic. And I kept thinking I would just drink to kill the chaos. And it wasn't working. So I'm like, well, that's not working, and I'm killing myself doing it.
There you go.
Let's do something else.
Okay, so what you just said is really profound, and so I'm going to say it back to you in a little bit different way, okay? You have lived a life since you were a junior or senior in high school that you were hiding from. You were trying to cover it up with a tarp. And the thing about alcohol is it works really well for that. It allows you to get to the next day and the next day and the next day, and allows you to thumb your way. I mean, just kind of stumble through a marriage, and allows you to stumble through work until you find your next job. But it works until it kills you, right? Until you look up and everybody's gone. And so the path before you, quit drinking, right? And you've done that. You are on that. Are you going to AA? Are you going to meetings?
No. This is just
okay. You have to.
Me by myself.
You have to. Don't do that.
Okay.
You cannot. I can't. You cannot do this by yourself. Okay. And I know you want to, you can't.
Okay.
Okay. Quick pop quiz. Can you do this by yourself?
No.
No, you said it, not me. Okay. You can't do it by yourself. All right. So that's number one. Number two, once you get out of the fog and you're 2 weeks in, it's about another 2 weeks or so, you'll start to be able to see the world a little bit more clearly. Okay. And here's where I think it gets really existential hard. You're going through the physical hard right now. Some people need a doctor's help to get off, right? It's tough quitting. Where it gets really tough is when you realize I don't like any of the men sitting around this game table with me. I don't like how they treat their wives. I don't like the way they look at the world. They're just trying to kill their lives too. In the nerd world, we call it long tail suicide. I'm not pulling a trigger. I'm just slowly ticking off the days on a calendar until this whole thing just rides off into the sunset. And what you're going to find when you're sober is you got a lot of things to be grateful for. You're 43, so you're about halfway done, right? Statistically speaking.
Yeah.
And also, how did I get here? I don't like my job. I got to find new people to hang out with. I'm going to have to, right? So you have to rebuild some really important scaffolding in your life. And that's hard. You can't do that by yourself. I wish you could, man. I wish there was a way to do it by yourself. If I could figure that out, I'd be a trillionaire. You can't. You can't. CEOs whose lives fall apart and implode can't do it by themselves. Multi-bajillionaires can't do it by themselves. Drunks on the side of the road can't do it by themselves. Nobody can. That's how we're made. We are tribal animals, man. And so what you're going to have to do is stop. Don't just go to another thing that puts a tarp over your life that just maybe kills you a little bit slower than the alcohol was starting to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get with a group of people so we can pull the tarp completely off our life and look at what we got. And then let's start building the life that we want.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? And that's like, that sounds crazy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You've never even considered that.
No.
So, dude, this is your Independence Day at 43 years of age. And it's both liberating and freeing, and freedom is also terrifying.
Yeah, it is.
You know, it's scary, huh?
Yeah, just kind of going into the unknown.
Yeah. And that's the part they didn't tell us when we were kids, is when you get to be adults, it's all unknown. Every adult I know is just making it up as we go.
Yeah.
And if you got real smart kids, they'll call you on it.
Kids are way too smart.
Yeah, exactly. How many kids you got?
3. 20, 25, 20, and 14.
Are they still within your area? They're still in San Antonio area?
Yeah, my 2 daughters live with me, with a 14 and 20-year-old. 20-year-old's in college, but living at home. And then my son, he lives out with his wife in New Mexico.
Okay. I would love to see you plan an intentional meeting with your son.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all meet in Lubbock, and I want you to sit down and look him in the eye and say, I had this and this and this happen when I was a kid. And I've spent the last 25 years running from it. And because I was running, you as a little boy were always wondering where daddy was, even though when I was sitting right next to you on the couch, and I'm sorry. All that changes today.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to put your hands on his 25-year-old face, and he's going to freak out.
Yeah, he will.
I want you to look him in the eye and say, I love you, and I'm going to say it every day for the rest of my life, whether you hear it or not. Okay?
Okay.
And I want you to be honest with him and tell him that you're in a group, you're getting sober, and that you are damn well determined to live the back half of your life with a reckless abandon where you're going to love and be connected with people and you're going to go on adventures, because I'm freaking Jacob from San Antonio, dude. I can't. How's that sound?
Scary.
It is, yes. And this is the pep rally speech, right? This is like the 80s montage, like where the music's playing and you're like, oh yeah. And then you can actually go to the gym and you're like, this sucks. Like Sylvester Stallone made it look so great. It's not. It's awful. It's cold, right?
Yeah.
So the path forward is hard, man. It's hard. That's why, again, you can't do it by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, if you go to like a 12-step group or some group, you're going to have to go make amends. You're going to have to go look people in the eye that you realize I did my best. I did my best stuff. I provided for them. I made sure they had food. I made sure they had shoes. And that's all really important. That's noble. That's part of the deal. But I withheld me. I'm not doing that anymore. And what you're going to find in that process, my brother, is a ton of healing. A ton of healing. Because I promise you miss him too.
Mm-hmm.
And those two precious daughters, you miss them like crazy too.
Mm-hmm.
And they live in your house and you miss them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you do for a living?
Project manager for construction.
Do you love it
company.
Or do you hate it? I knew it.
Moment.
What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
No. Well, I'm part owner of it, so
I couldn't care less if you were the principal owner and CEO and you made $10 million a year. What do you want to do?
I don't know. It's something
Awesome.
I've started to ask myself.
Good. Hey.
I've just been doing this for 21 years.
And hey, you're going to find you've just, quote unquote, been doing a lot of things for 20 years, 25 years. Yeah. Right? And you never stop to ask yourself, what am I doing here?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that, man, you're a good dad, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
Feel good about that?
Oh, yeah.
Are you a good husband?
Yes, better than I was.
Hopefully we all are, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully
we've been married 21 years now. We've been married, so.
Good. Yeah, I'm right there with you. And hopefully in 30, when I cross the 30-year threshold, I can look back and be like, man, I'm way better than I was at the 20-year mark, right?
Yeah. Even my wife's she's made a comment. She's noticed the difference in the last 2 weeks.
Okay. Take her out and do this exact same thing that I told you to do with your son.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because my guess is for a long time you felt completely and totally alone in a crowded room.
Oh, all the time.
And my guess is you've probably shared a bed with a woman for 20 years that you love and that you know loves you, but you feel completely and totally alone.
Yeah. A lot of the times, yes.
Let's stop that. I say this with all due respect. At some point, that's a choice to hide.
Oh, I agree.
And you're going to have to practice not hiding because not hiding is freaking terrifying.
Oh, I know. My wife's forever telling me use your words.
I love it when our wives talk to us like we're toddlers and they're accurate.
Yes. Yeah. Well, she's a school teacher too. So.
Oh, even better. My wife was also. Trust me. Oh my gosh. The idea that you are unshackled now, you should feel terrified by that. And I don't want that to freak you out. And anytime you feel scared about the unknown, scared about vulnerability, scared about driving to meet with your son and hold him by his face and tell him that you love him and hug him so hard that his ribs hurt, your body will be terrified that whole way. So I'm telling you that to norm it. It's to be expected. It's the same as when you go in for knee surgery. They say, hey, the next 6 months after it's going to be hard. And you go, okay, I'm going to do it anyway because it's right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Most people, when they're getting sober, they experience this pain, this relational pain, this boredom you're talking about, and they think that they are somehow, it's confirming that they were broken, and they always have been, and it's easy to go back to the thing that made them feel okay, which is alcohol, in your case. Mm. If you don't replace it with a destination, here's where we're going with purpose, you're just going to move your addiction. Right? You're going to find yourself down some pornography rabbit hole, or you're going to be working 180 hours a week under the guise of quote unquote, they need me. And really it's just you hiding from your family and from people who know you and love you. Okay. The goal here is to create a life, create an ability to look in the mirror and say, I'm worth not hiding. Because I'm freaking Jacob from San Antonio and I'm loved and I love other people. That's what healing looks like. Cool?
Yeah. That sounds good.
You're so full of crap. It sounds awful. It sounds awful.
Yes, it does. It sounds awful, but I know it's the right thing to do.
Okay, so before the day's over, before today is over,
okay,
you're going to find a group. You don't have to tell anybody you're going, but you're going to find a group. Doesn't have to be an AA group or some big, but you got to find a group. It could be, there's any number of groups in San Antonio, guarantee it. Yeah. And there's also quiet, I wouldn't say secret, but there's quiet ones for executives or people who are high profile or whatever. Like, find a group. Second thing is put a date on the calendar with your wife. You don't have to go tonight because it's going to take a minute for you to gear it up. You probably should write her a letter that you can read to her. Okay. The third is get on the calendar with your son. Put it on the calendar. Do not bail on it. Is that cool?
That's cool.
It's been one of my great life honors to talk to you, man. You're a brave, strong man. It's awesome. And I'll be with you any way you'll invite me in. I'm here, dude. Call me anytime you want. Shoot me emails if you want. And I'll walk alongside you as you completely transform your life. I want you to hang on the phone. I'm going to send you a copy of Own Your Past, Change Your Future, the book. And I'm going to send you some conversation cards for your daughters and for you and your wife, because we're going to practice just hanging out. That's a thing we haven't done in a long time or ever. We're going to practice just being in community with one another, just hanging out, just doing hangout things. And maybe it'll give you a little bit of reprieve from looking around the room of your board game buddies and being like, oh my gosh, how did I end up here? I can't wait to see what happens next, brother.